Hi, I'm Dave Blanchard, the CEO of the Og Mandino Group, and it's my privilege this morning to be with Shane and Angel Bishop. They're, they have a very significant health coaching business and came to us for some coaching. And you've had the privilege of working with Paul.
Yes.
I just get excited when people tell me they're coaching with Paul. And Angel, I know that you've had a couple of significant things happen in the last few weeks. Can you just walk us through and tell us what happened?
Sure. Yeah. I'd say about a couple months ago, Shane started coaching with Paul, and I was all for him doing it, but I really didn't feel like I needed to take part. I felt like I was good and, doing okay. And so I told him, you can't fix what's not broken. So, in my own mind, I just thought I'm good. But Paul had asked to talk to me. So I was all for it, thinking I'm going to support Shane. And I met with him that first day, and he just started asking me questions, and it just really, I had to really sit and think about what he was asking. And I answered what I could. And then throughout the day, I started processing it throughout that day and that week. And I realized how much I was holding back. And I always have felt like I had to choose between business or my kids. And and it was a simple question, but he had just asked me, he's like, who ever made you feel, or who told you you have to choose one or the other? Why can't you have it all? And I never really thought like that, because they've always been my priority. And talking to him that day, and then a few days later, we talked again, and I told Shane, as I was processing the question and as I was thinking back to what had triggered that and why I felt that way, it was just like someone had cut the chains off, and I just felt this freedom that I could fly and live. Like I had this permission to step into who I am supposed to be and not just remain bound up. And it's so funny because I never felt like I was bound up until he'd asked those questions, and I just felt like this freedom to just step out and be bold in who God has called me to be and who I am. And I had this permission that I didn't know I needed, and so the last few weeks has just been this roller coaster, it's just been amazing. I have so much, I guess, more life. I am just more daring. I'm not second guessing. I'm just stepping in because I know this is who I am, and I can be all of this, and I can have all of this, and my kids are better for it. Our business is better for it. Shane's better for it. And it's just an amazing realization. And, just this awareness, this awakening that has happened without me even realizing, and I guess that was my first sign, thinking that, I don't have a problem. And usually that's like a good indication that I do. So.
Gosh, I'm getting tingles up and down my spine. Those kind of warm fuzzies. This is awesome. Thank you, Angel. Well, I have to turn to you, to Shane, and say, okay, you've watched this. What does that do to your soul?
It's one of the things I think, Dave, that, as a husband, when you see your wife come to life, it's an amazing thing. I found that some of the greatest joy I get in life is just watching her do her thing, and so it's just brought new life to me as well. It's been an amazing process with Paul, and, I'd be the first to raise my hand and go, there was a lot of things in me that needed to be corrected as well. But just watching Angel come to life has been amazing. It's one of the things you guys ask a lot are the things, what are the things that you need to kind of come back to your, the place of just where you can kind of, yes, that breath. And one of those things is seeing Angel, just being with her when she is full and when she feels like she has that permission. And it's allowed me to take that breath as well. It's been amazing. It's just been awesome. And the conversation has been unlike anything we've had in a long time. Mm-hmm. That's been one of the greatest things, is some of the things we've been able to talk about that I think before I was almost guarded. I don't know if I want to go there. But she has been saying, man, this is, you know, and it's given me the permission to have conversations with her that I didn't know that we would ever get to talk about. So that's been very interesting as well, very amazing, and very just really cool just to explore these things together as she's processing some of this, and just to explore it. It's way different than I ever thought it would be, but it's much better than I ever thought it would be as well. So.
Ooh. And you've been married how long now, Angel?
We'll be married 18 years next month.
18 years. And how many children?
We have 4.
4. And
5 with Shane. So.
I won't touch that. Well, Shane, for those that are watching, they're going, gosh, I don't know. You know, I've got so much going on. Do I really have time to fit coaching into my life? Will it really be a benefit? What would you say to those people after this experience?
I would say this. There are a lot of things that you don't even realize about yourself until you have somebody ask you a question that has nothing to gain from them asking you the question, that causes you to explore something that you never even realized. It's like, it's almost like looking in the mirror at yourself every day. You don't see the things that are changing, the things that have changed over the years. It just becomes this is who I am. And some of those thoughts and those habits of thinking that kind of drag you down, you don't really realize that you're doing it because it's just become a habit, and you kind of almost have that as your identity. And when somebody's able to ask you a question that just allows you to explore that and go, that's not me, that's not who I intended to be, that's not ever, it allows you to live in a freedom that allows you to do more. So when you say, well, I don't have time, I think I would say you don't have time not to, because this gives you the freedom to do more with the time that you have, a lot more, to be much more effective, just not in your work, but in every other area of your life. And that's the great thing is, like Angel said, I'm a better dad, I'm a better husband, and I'm better at health coaching. And all of those things have improved and are continuing to improve with this process. So.
Thank you. Angel, I have to ask this question. How did Shane's willingness to take on himself inspire you to even consider the possibility of taking on yourself?
I think it was the change I saw in him. I was very leery to have him start doing this because of the investment and the time. Because like you said, so many people feel like they don't have the time, and we are a busy family, and I was worried about the time it would take away or what it would mean. And so, but again, I want him to continue to grow, and I don't want to stand in the way. So I just kind of stepped back and watched. And over the next few weeks, I just saw this change in him. And it was just so refreshing. Like, he was so aware of everything around him, and he used to walk around just this ball of stress, you know, and he was just so relaxed and aware and more intentional with me, with our kids, with our life. And I'm like, man, there's something to this, you know, and I didn't understand it at all. And so that's why I agreed to meet with Paul, but I could not meet with him because I saw the difference in him and just how much joy and peace he had. And nothing else in our life had changed, but the way we approached everything and the way he approached stuff totally changed, which has just made everything here just calm, peaceful, joyful. Not that we don't have our things, but we go at it with a different approach. And so just more intentional. And it was just the change that I saw in him that really made me want to find out what this is about.
Shane, you're really good, but she's really inspiring. I have one last question for you.
Yes, sir.
We have just launched the Habit Finder Academy Live. It's something we do on Tuesday. And for those who are not ready to make an investment in personal coaching, which is what an investment, right?
Yeah.
They can do that for just a nominal fee. And they get Paul, which is also kind of cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Anything you want to say about Paul?
Go ahead.
I'll say this about Paul. He does an amazing job, and this is something that's very, very, I'd say it's very unusual, of making you feel heard. From the first time I spoke to Paul, I felt heard. And he can do that in a group setting, and he can do that in a setting with just you. And so, and it's very, very important for somebody to hear you, I think. And then the way that he is able to structure the things that he talks about, it's very easy to learn and to digest. It's amazing. So I would just say, be part of it. It's like you said about Angel, he's very inspirational. And so when you hear him speak, he speaks in a way that I just find inspired to do new things. So yeah.
I said last question. Thank you. Last question. There is one more.
Okay.
Because it just inspired me to ask the question. The future. What's going to be different about the future because of this?
Wow. I think for me, it's opened up this completely different. We used to think that we had everything figured out and we knew the path that we were going. But now I just feel like the sky's the limit. And speaking with Paul and reading your books and going through this process, it just makes us feel like anything is possible. And yes, there is work involved, but before it was always the fear and the doubt and everything stopping and just reality of life. Like, you can't do this because of this. And I think with this, there is nothing in our way but our own mindset if we let it, you know? And what excites me about that is I feel this freedom and this awakening of who I am and who I'm supposed to be. And now I get to share that with my kids. And I think that excites me more than anything because we get to bring new life to them.
Yes.
And to the possibilities for their future and for our family and our business. And that just excites me because I just feel like there's this abundance that we are walking toward.
Yes.
And I'm so excited.
Yes.
Anything you would like to add to that, Shane?
Yeah, I would say this.
I don't know if there's anything to add to that.
There's not a whole lot. I'd say that the possibilities that we explore now, it feels like before we just said it's this and this. And the way that we look at things now is completely different. It's curious like a child. And it's so fun to go through life just exploring, you know, as an adult. But, you know, I get to look and see what's possible. What is there, you know, what is grabbing our hearts? What is inspiring us to grow, to do something better? And the most amazing part of that is to look what Angel said about our children and some of the coaches that we work with, the legacy that we get to leave with them. It's just really neat to imagine and to explore that. It's just exciting. So
I'm glad we went to the last question. Because each one of you are beneficiaries. Your clients, your health coaching clients, are certainly beneficiaries. But the legacy to your children,
yes.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. Well, thank you. Really appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us. Anything else is coming to your heart or mind before we?
I would just like to speak to those who are holding back or have doubts, because I was that person. I was questioning everything. And for those that are on the fence or just really seeking, is there value in this? I would just say, yes. You know, I don't even know how to put it, but just that I am so thankful and grateful that he took the step, even though I was pulling him back and trying to, and just not very sure up front, because he has just opened up this whole new thing for us and for our family. And I'm just so grateful to your organization. So anyone who is on the fence and not sure if they can afford to do this or not do this, you can't afford not to, because what you gain is so much more than what you're putting in. And you can't put a price tag on that. And you can't put a time stamp on that, because yes, we've invested some time in this, but the time that we've gotten back for our family is way more than what we've invested in this. And so you can't afford not to. So I would just like to say thank you for what you guys are doing, and thank you for pouring into us and to Shane, because it's, you know, it's just been amazing.
Paul and I live for this, for moments like this. Thank you. I'm leaving on Sunday for Israel to work on the movie, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And it's just, what a great way to end Friday. So thank you. This is wonderful. If I just say to everyone who's watching this, where do you start? Go to www.habitfinder.com, habitfinder.com, and take the assessment. You've both been through that assessment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then let one of our people serve you to get deeper into it, and then see if any of these kinds of ideas, the Habit Finder Live Academy or personal coaching, is something that would be of service to you. And thank you, Angel. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks for being courageous. It just means a tremendous amount to us to watch somebody go through this transformation, because this is why we're doing it. So thank you.
Thanks again, Dave.
God bless. Thanks. Bye-bye.